Diva Speaks Relationships Podcast is the hottest, grown, and sexy relationship conversation piece out of the Queen City. No relationship matter is off limits. Sex, marriage, love, betrayal, dating, side pieces, adultery, religion, and finances are all a part of the discussion because your relationship matters. Now, here's your host, the Diva, Angela Porto Real.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Diva Speaks Relationships Podcast. I am the diva of Diva Speaks Relationships Podcast. My name is Angela Porto Real, and welcome to the show. You have just tuned in to the hottest, grown and sexy, yet the realest conversation piece out of Charlotte, North Carolina. How does that make you feel? Right? Yes. So today is the coffee and conversation edition, as well as it fell upon Sunday's soulful and soul food edition. So you got a double whammy on your hands today. Yes, it is Sunday, and as I peek through the blinds, I could see that the sun is shining. It seems to be a beautiful day outside, but I'm still in my robe. I have my cup of coffee and I'm here with you. So happy Sunday. And again, welcome to the show. Yes, you just tuned in. We are here together, you and I. So I love to start off my podcast by thanking all of my loyal listeners and followers. You guys are amazing, and I do not take you for granted. You are appreciated. That's right. I love to keep it real and authentic. You are appreciated. You are appreciated. Did you hear me? I'm going to say it one more time for you because they say there's power in repetition. You are appreciated. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with me these past few years. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for the support. And I just want to say you are valued. So now that we got the loves and the hugs all out the way, I want to invite you guys to visit the website if you have not had an opportunity to visit the website. My website address is diva-speaks-official.com. Now, don't get cute, okay? Now, I know you may be beautiful and handsome and all of that and a bag of chips, but when I say dash, I'm talking about the symbol. Don't you dare type the word, okay? Don't have me check you, boo. Okay, so once again, my website address is diva-speaks. Now that's plural. You should have learned that in school. The one thing I did retain. Anyway, guys, diva-speaks-official.com. Follow me on Instagram if you have not had an opportunity. My Instagram handle is divaspeaks, the little _ official. You can find me on TikTok. I'm blowing up on TikTok. It's kind of hard, though. I'm used to being able to have my way with the amount of time that I can deliver the content, but TikTok places a minimum of 3 minutes, but whatever, we're going to rock with it. You can find me on TikTok, Diva Speaks Relationships, and the number 1. Did you guys catch my television show this past Friday night and this past Saturday night? So Diva Speaks Relationships Ministries aired this new show. Same topic that I'm going to talk to you about today because I know some of you haven't transitioned over yet. TV Access, Access 21 had my new show. I was talking about exclusivity and monogamy. I really got into it trying to be more open-minded about the state of relationships and explaining why so many people, in my opinion, are more open to having open relationships and not really being so quick to commit. And I also, I went there. I know some people gonna call me a heathen, whatever. But I will give you a little nugget. I did go on to explain that, according to the experts, that the people who practice polyamory and open relationships and the swingers lifestyle, the one advantage that they have over people like us that practice monogamy or who seek monogamy is that level of transparency and communication that requires them to have successful relationships. So anyway, if you did not get the memo, that's what the talk show was about. You can find it on Access 21. So again, if you don't know, I do have a real television show, Diva Speaks Relationships Television, which airs on Access 21. So we're going to move on because I know that you guys didn't come here to hear an infomercial. That's not what I do. I don't invite you to the conversation and then I switch it up on you once I got your attention. No, that's not what I do. But the first question I want to ask is, do you have your coffee yet? Because I have it. Listen, watch this. Listen to me. Watch this. That hot coffee that travels down the back of my throat in the morning time. Oh my God, it is priceless. I don't care. You can judge me. I don't care. The feeling and the sensation that caffeine gives my body is just amazing. So if you don't have your cup of coffee, let me invite you to get it. And if you do not drink coffee, oh well, whatever. I don't judge people here. So in my description of the show, I said, let's discuss what your relationship could possibly have in common with a head-on collision. Are you collecting offenses against your partner? Is that what you're doing? Are you treating your relationship like an accident? Is your relationship a wreck? Let's talk about it. And I know I got some cute listeners out there that might say, well, Diva, looking at it now, this relationship is 100% an accident because I did not do this on purpose. And to that I say, I can understand. I've had a couple of those in my lifetime as well. It's like, girl, what in the hell were you thinking when you decided to align yourself with that person and that energy? Like, oh, hell to the no. This was absolutely 100% an accident. But no, that's not what we're talking about today. So I want to tell you what I was listening to when this idea came to me. So I was listening to a sermon, as I typically do. I do. I'm not ashamed to tell you sometimes where I get my ideas from. So I was listening to a sermon and I could totally relate because I've been in an accident in my life before. And the pastor was describing how he was traveling and I guess a car in front of him ended up being in a collision. It scared him. And we've all been there, whether you've watched a wreck happen in front of you, whether you've had to dodge a wreck by swerving and, pumping on the brakes. All of that is absolutely terrifying. I was rear-ended a year and a half ago. And even it just, oh my goodness, it just shook me because I didn't see it coming. I had no idea it was about to happen. And there I am, discombobulated in traffic on my way home from work. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the story. So the pastor says as soon as he had an opportunity to pull his vehicle over, he did so, and he ran to try and render aid to the person who had been involved in the collision. He says as he was approaching the vehicle, how he could see that the driver of the vehicle was slumped over the steering wheel. It was apparent that he was hurt. And I'm visualizing that as he's telling the story, right? And he said, I asked the gentleman, would you like for me to call the police? And I'm thinking as he's telling the story, yeah. Let's get the police out into the scene of the accident, right? Are you with me so far? Are you guys with me? Hi, Naresh. Let me sip this coffee. Hold on, guys. Because I want to give it to you today. So he asked the driver that had just been involved in this collision, do you want me to call the police? And he says, I can remember as clear as day when he looked at me, the expression on his face, I instantly knew that I asked the wrong question, because the driver responded with, let me go back. Hold on. Work with me. I asked him, did he want me to call the police? I'm going to say this one more time. I asked him, did he want me to call the police? The driver of the vehicle that had just been involved in the collision says, no, I need you to call an ambulance. Oh, y'all not ready for this, but we're going to get into it. You have options. You have options. There's always an option available. So my question today is, are you guilty of treating your relationship like the scene of an accident? Is your relationship a wreck, and where do we go with it? And I began to think to myself when I heard his experience, when I heard his question, I said, dear God, how many people are in relationships right now that are experiencing a crisis? How many people are going through some difficult times in their relationship and they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel? Because that happens. For those of us who are real, who are in real relationships, who are real people, we are imperfect people who have flaws, who get up every day to be a better version of themselves. You understand that life happens not only to you, but in your relationship. Let me get back. Are you guilty of calling the police? Or are you one of the ones who prefer to have an ambulance at the scene of the accident of your relationship? So when I heard this, I began to think of a particular past relationship of my own, and I would identify this ex-partner as being one of those who would want to call the police. And you may say, Diva, why? Why would you say that? What are you saying? I'm saying, are you guilty of calling the police at the scene of the accident of your relationship because you're looking to establish fault? You want to find out who's right, who's wrong. You want to get it out in the open. You love to point the finger at the other person because you cannot dare accept responsibility for the current state of your relationship. You want proof that you are right. You want proof that you have been right all alone. I told you it was you. I told you that this is what you was doing wrong. I told you that this was going to happen. You don't care about anything else but establishing the fact that you are right. And you want to get it documented. So in the event that this ends up in court, you have established your proof and the backup that you need that I wasn't at fault, wasn't my fault. It's not my fault that we ended up where we are today. This is all on you, boo. This wreck of a relationship that we are in is all your fault. So again, I ask, are you one of the ones that prefer to have the police called? Or, I need another sip for this. Hold on. And if you're not drinking with me, shame on you. How dare you let me drink alone? Okay, this coffee is delicious. Back to the story. Are you one of the ones that can identify with, okay, diva, they may have a point with wanting to establish who's at fault at the scene. But could you be one of the ones who don't have a problem admitting I need an ambulance? See, I'm one of those people. I don't know about you. I don't know about you and how your brain is wired. I don't know about you and what's in your heart, but I'm one of these people. I am a woman that knows that if we have both been involved in a head-on collision, if I know without even having a doctor to examine me that I have suffered an injury, please, by all means, call an ambulance, because at this point, it doesn't matter who's right or who is wrong. What I do know is that we have both been involved in a head-on collision, and we need to get the help if we are ever going to heal whatever is broken. We need to assess these damages at a later date. But in the meantime, we need healing because we have both been hurt. Does it matter who's right or who's wrong if we're both going to die? If the thing that we say we love the most, which is this relationship, which is sharing our life together, is gonna die, does it really matter who the hell is right or wrong at this point? Are you serious? Can we get real? You'd rather have a police come out and look at this wreck. You want to expose everything right now? This is what we're doing. Or can we put that to the side at a later date? Pinpoint it and come back to it after we have been examined, after we have had an opportunity to start the healing process. Yeah, we got people out there like that. You understand me? They don't care about getting well. They don't care about having a diagnosis. Because sometimes, there have been instances where you can be involved in an accident and you can appear to have no bumps, bruises, or scrapes, but there can be some internal damage, brain injuries, internal bleeding. So you would rather call the police and point the blame versus going to get the help so you can make sure that you're okay, that I'm okay, that we're okay. And since we're talking about assessing the damages, we have to talk about that too. We need to talk about the fact that we was even involved in an accident. How did we even get to have a head-on collision? If we're going to talk about finger pointing and establishing the blame, why don't we set that on the shelf and just call it accountability? How about that? okay? I know that's a dirty, dirty, dirty word to a lot of people. It's accountability, but could it be that we've ended up where we are right now because neither one of us was paying attention to the road? How about that? Could it be that you were negligent? You were negligent in paying attention to the signs that was there all along? Was you ignoring the signs? Was you too preoccupied with other people, places, and things versus investing the time in your relationship, in your partner, that you failed to see the warning signs that you were headed for trouble? You was too preoccupied. I was too preoccupied. And let's just be real with one another. Life happens. None of us are teenagers. We have jobs, careers, families, elderly, aging parents. We have hobbies. We have social lives, girlfriends, homeboys, ministries. There's a host of activities that could take away your attention from your partner and their needs in the relationship. But while you were busy doing the finger pointing and demanding the police on the scene, you're going to tell them that you weren't paying attention? Did I say that? Are you going to tell them that you weren't paying attention to the road to being your partner in your relationship? Are you going to tell them that you were neglectful? Are you? Can you? Is that what we do when we call the police onto the scene? When we want to finger point, when we want to establish who's right and who's wrong, do we conveniently forget our personal level of responsibility as to why we ended up where we ended up right now in this collision? Because we got a loss. We've suffered some losses, okay? And you may be saying, Diva, what did we lose? At the end of the day, you may have lost the relationship. Facts. You may have lost the relationship, number one. But if not that, by you not paying attention, by you thinking that you can juggle. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Thinking that you could juggle all of these things and still have your primary focus where it should be. You drove us right into a wall. Loss of communication. Yeah, that was one of the losses. Loss of trust. Loss of intimacy. Yeah, gone. A loss of respect. A loss of desire. Because sometimes you can drive that thing so far into the ground that your partner has no desire to fellowship with you, to communicate with you, to be intimate with you, or even to continue with you in the relationship, depending on how far or how bad you allow things to get. I'm going to drive it home now, because I know that beautiful souls, that you have things you need to do today. Can I be transparent with you guys for a second? Hello, Rajamoni 2026. Hey, sweetie. Can I be transparent with you guys? You guys know me. If you've listened to any of my shows, you know that I keep it real. As I was preparing to talk about this, it occurred to me that people prefer the police because they don't want the help. And I know that may sound so simple, but there's somebody out there that may need to hear that. You see, they have no desire to fix, mend, or heal anything. They would prefer that we just call it a loss, like total the damn thing. I have no desire to repair this. I have no desire to put in the work. I have no desire to restore this vehicle being the relationship whatsoever. Total it, call it a loss, because I am really wanting to move on to a newer vehicle. Jesus, I need a new vehicle. Yes. Call the police out. Let's call it what it is. It's a total loss. Call it a wrap and get the hell on. Yeah, there are people like that. And it's unfortunate that you find that out when you've been involved in a collision in your relationship. When you're all battered and bruised. When you need medical attention the most, that you actually are afforded the information that your partner is no longer invested into salvaging the wreck. They would rather call it a total loss, establish the proof that they need in order to present it as evidence when they have their day in court. Facts. So as I end the show, I'm going to go back and ask, is your relationship a wreck? Are you treating your relationship like that of the scene of an accident, instead of seeking the resources that you need, that you require in order to heal, in order to have a healthier relationship, in order to transition out of whatever season of struggle that you may be in? Are you guilty of looking for faults, establishing who's to blame, and pointing the finger? And if you are, today is an opportunity for you to change your mind. You can change your mind about how you want to handle things moving forward. Stop pointing the finger. Start accepting responsibility and be accountable for what you have done. Look at yourself. Look at your perfect self. Oh, you're so perfect and holy and righteous. There's absolutely nothing wrong you can do, right? Wrong. I started off the show by saying that today appears to be a beautiful day. And even though I haven't had a chance to go outside, I peeked through the blinds. True story, I peeked through the blinds. I haven't been outside. And it's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. It feels like it's going to be an amazing pool day for me. I love lounging by the pool. But I said that to say this. If you opened 2 unique gifts this morning, which was your eyes, today is the day, or another opportunity for you to change whatever is broken or whatever seems to be a red flag in your relationship. That's all I want to say. You were given another opportunity, another chance to get it right, to make it whatever you want to make it. It can be whatever you want it to be. Imagine with me right now, if you or someone you know is in a very, very bad place in their life, in their relationship, imagine you traveling down the freeway at 70 miles per hour, And as far as you can see, the road is clear. There are no cars in front of you. There is no traffic that is preventing you from the ease of the flow. You got your favorite song on, and you and Bae's having a good day. I mean, it's a wonderful day. You look at them, they look at you, you're talking, you're busy, you're engaging. Maybe perhaps your phone rings and you grab it and you look down to see who's calling. And you didn't notice that another vehicle got into that lane in front of you and slowed down a little bit. Imagine that. You're traveling at 70 miles per hour on the freeway. And you look up from your cell phone just in time to start pumping your brakes. And you slow the vehicle down in just enough time to avoid hitting the car in front of you. And because you're so much of a quick thinker, you changed lanes. You adjusted your speed, you pumped the brakes, and you changed lanes as you slowed down. Some of you need to do this in your relationship. Some of you have been given the opportunity of the example that I just described. You've been busy. Life has been taking you fast. You're so preoccupied with every and anything, your attention has been spread thin. But you looked up just in time to slow things down and avoid the collision. And because you're so good at what you do, you changed lanes. You got out of that lane that was leading you to disaster. And you maneuvered over and slowed it down. If this show has helped anybody, maybe you're not going through anything right now, because that's not, everybody has seasons of success and seasons of struggle. This may not be for you today. You never know that you could be the vessel that someone that you're close to or connected to could use this example and it could help them. I love to keep it real on my show. I've been doing this since day one. I will not deviate from that. Let's slow it down. Let's avoid the head-on collisions. Let's stop the finger pointing. Recognize that if you have been involved in a collision, let's get the help that you need so the both of you can heal. Not only heal individually, but heal as a couple. Because shouldn't the goal of the relationship be to be happy? Shouldn't you be committed to the success of the relationship as a unit? That's for you to answer. I have enjoyed my coffee and conversation moment with you today, and I hope that I have delivered and I have not disappointed any of you. I love you all. No, I'm not going to get mushy. I'm going to save that for when I turn off the mic, but I don't take this lightly. And those of you that have followed me since day one, I am so passionate about this that it is almost utterly ridiculous. Don't forget, if you have not had an opportunity to check out the latest episode on my television show, and I'm talking about actual television show, please do so. The show was about monogamy and exclusivity. And Diva Speaks Relationship Ministries airs on the Now Television Network. I turned it into a ministry for those times that I want to circle back and base it and back it up with the Word of God. Diva Speaks Relationship Ministries. You'll hear me talk about my faith a lot more when I talk about relationships. You can find it on the Now Television Network. My hour-long show still airs on Access 21. And you can also find Diva Speaks Relationships on Empowered Living TV. So it is my hope and my prayer that each of you that are under the sound of my voice, that today is the day that you decide to love a little harder, to be intentional with showing love and affection to the person that you're sharing your life with, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. And don't you dare be discouraged or embarrassed when you enter into those troubled seasons. It happens. I just want to let you know that when it happens, should it happen, don't get so caught up into you have to be right that you end up losing the very thing in the person that you love, only to vindicate yourself and end up without them. Until the next time, the diva has spoken. Thank you for tuning in.
You've been listening to the Diva Speaks Relationships Podcast, the hottest grown and sexy relation conversation piece out of the Queen City, hosted by the Diva and Gayla Porto Real. We hope you enjoyed the show. Follow us on Instagram at divaspeaks_official. Let's stay connected.
Diva Speaks Podcast is the premier relationship podcast that explicitly deals with relationship matters from a woman's point of view. No subject is off limits. Relationship challenges, sex, intimacy, dating, infidelity, finances, heartbreak, and situationships are all a part of the discussion. Your relationship matters.